Are Black people open to sex therapy? Or any type of therapy that has to do with sex, whether it's sex addiction, whether it's, that, your relationship needing help in the sex department or whatever it is, just therapy in general. We always therapy, blah, blah, blah. But like, clearly these children out of wedlock, all of these abortions we're talking about. I mean, do Black people need therapy in the subject of sex? Like, is that something we need to talk about more and need to push more? Because what do we need to do? Oh my goodness.
I think we need to have more control, follow, I think it just, a lot of people, we just don't have structure. And there's just a lot of casual sex going on, which, I mean, two adults at the age of consent can consent to just, have sex if they want to have sex. But the problem is when you have sex unprotected and you wind up, bringing a baby into the picture, and then that said child is not wanted. But I mean, two adults can do as they please. But I don't think that nobody doesn't know enough knowledge of what not to do. I think
yeah, the excuses are done. Everybody knows what. Yeah. Like, there's no
it just happened. Like, at this point, nothing just happens.
It just happened.
No, I don't agree with that.
I didn't know.
So do y'all think that there should be like abstinence only, or what kind of like education do you think that there should be around this? Because I think that a lot of the time, you would be shocked at the things that people think and believe and think that they know. Like, oh, if you do this, you're not going to get pregnant. I have literally heard people say some of the strangest things, and I'm like, what? You can still get pregnant. So some people that are adults literally just don't know certain things. So like, how can I know it's shocking, but it's true. How can this be tackled, I guess, proactively? What do y'all think about that? Like, how can this be addressed?
There is no way any adult that feeds and clothes themselves doesn't understand how babies are created and what is it that you don't know?
It's not about not knowing how babies are created. But honestly, even that, people don't really know. You would be shocked, Kayla.
What is there not to know? You put the lime in the coconut, when you mix it all up, like, what is there not to know?
No, but you know what it is?
In terms of like when and what, some people are like, oh, it was right after my period or right before I can't, or oh, this and that. Like, people don't necessarily know these things, even though like I know, you might know, but some people think different things that are wild.
That doesn't tell me that you don't know. That tells me that you're ignorant, because now you're using false information that you found somewhere talking about if it's a day after your period, you can't get pregnant. Now you're just ignorant.
Which means you don't know.
Bad information.
Which means
you do know.
Yeah, like
you do know, but what you know is wrong.
Yeah. Sex therapy can also mean
you don't know. It's wrong. So
sex therapy can also mean, fixing issues, like difficult issues as far as intercourse. Yeah. You do that. I'm pretty sure y'all don't encounter intercourse with a man and he wasn't putting it down right. You in a relationship with this guy, and it's something you got to deal with because you feel like you committed, and that part of the relationship is just not cutting it. So what do? You go have sex therapy. You try to fix the problem. I think a lot of people are not doing that because they may be either embarrassed to go to therapy and be like, yeah, what can my wife do? I've been trying to get her to do this for me. She just don't want to do it, or she's not doing it right. I think people just don't want to maybe hurt someone's feelings.
I don't know, because I feel like we're all adults, and like you should be able to communicate that information to your.
So you can't imagine your man said, "Look, come on, Toya, I set us an appointment because you know what I'm saying you just ain't been giving me head the right way."
Well, I mean, honestly, honest to God, if that's something that bothers my man, and if he feel as though us going, I mean, because look, I actually know a girl that does, like, she's a sexual therapist and she has a huge following. So I know that this is a thing, right? So if my husband was to tell me, like, I feel as though you're not, maybe we should, talk to somebody or whatever, I have no issues with that. Like, whatever it takes to better that area of our, relationship, I have no issues with it. But I think it's for
most men don't think that they're going to get that reaction from women. They really don't think that that's the reaction that they're going to get from women. And so we have people terminating pregnancy because instead of having that conversation, instead of going and getting therapy, they just go and get it somewhere else, like recklessly. And then now we have a situation. I'm saying I don't think that people are going to take sex therapy. I don't. Men or sitting down with their partner and going, listen, your head is trash. Like, I don't know what we need to do.
Man, look, everybody could use some sex therapy.
But that's why
there's got to be something on the list in the bedroom that all three of y'all are not willing to do. It could be painful.
Everybody has that, like, hard nose.
I think even guys have that too. I mean, it's just certain things that guys are not going to do. Like, you're not going to let your wife peg you. I mean, let's be honest.
Okay, so now that,
I mean, but then again, you might.
Straight guys aren't.
I mean, but then again, you might. I don't know. That's why we said there's something that each and every one of us would not do. So that's fine. But that's when it comes down to communication, because hopefully when you start a relationship with someone, you're discussing your do's and your don'ts. And then as your relationship progresses, maybe your do's and your don'ts change, but that's specifically up to the couple,
But I think somebody stated in the chat, it was about experience. Like, a lot of people carry them as a young person, if they're coming in young, or, they carry themselves in a way that where they're not all that sexually active. And when they meet this person, now they all inexperienced, and now you got problems. You know what I'm saying? So now you gotta have some type of therapy, or you're dealing with a person that's really not communicating to you. Me personally, I kind of feel like Black people are not prioritizing sex therapy at all. That first option is to go, well, if I can't get it here, I think it's a saying, if she won't do it, somebody else will type shit. So
I mean, but is that really Black people though? Because I mean,
I think that's most people. Unfortunately,
I'd say it's most people.
Most people don't have the strength to be like, babe. You know what I mean? Like,
it could
most
be some
people do
form
not
of
have
laziness.
this, especially if conversation before, or I've tried to talk you through it. It's still not working. Okay.
I mean, but at that point, I would honestly feel like if there's nothing that I can do.
Now we need therapy.
I mean, we can do therapy.
We would do that if it was something else, but Black people don't feel like they need to do that.
I spoke with somebody about. Go ahead, Billy. Go ahead. I ain't mean to cut you off.
I said I don't think therapy can make it wet.
Well, no, I think therapy can, because girls who maybe aren't getting there, it also can be connected to other things. If they've dealt. No. I'm saying if they've dealt with.
We're not talking about yeast infections, Billy. We talking about
no, Billy. No, what I'm saying is that the therapy can help with that, because say you don't know, they could have a past of SA where they've dealt with that, and so there are psychological things that don't allow them to relax, and so they can't get there. And you're just thinking that, oh, she's just not. You know what I mean? Or it could be something that's dealt with her childhood. It could be something with you.
So like mental or emotional blocks, mental or emotional blocks that need to be explored. It's not just like, hey, therapist, what do I do? Like, it's more so, a deeper level, discussing certain things that may be affecting someone that could also affect, these areas in a relationship.
You gotta look at the mindset too, man. People are ashamed to come out with their fetishes. They may feel like, you may look at me a certain way, or
you may look at me different.
You know what I'm saying? They don't even never like talk about it. They just want it just to happen. So those are, I'm not gonna say they're weak-minded. I'm just saying they're intellectually challenged. They don't know how to deliver. Like Toya said, they don't know how to communicate.
Yeah.
You can make it that bad. You can make that worse.
People I suck on toes. I suck on them toes, girl.
Okay. Well, you better tell them, Billy, if that's your thing.
This little piggy with the market.
But that's why I say, like, to me, honestly, in the beginning of a relationship, these type of things should be discussed. I mean, well, look, I'm a communicator, so
at the beginning.
Oh yes. I discuss certain things. I'm not saying like the first date, but you know.
Okay.
No.
Like when we're agreeing to be exclusive.
Yes. Like you need to, like, you will want to know what, you know, what would you not want me to do, or what are you okay with me to, you know, it's just, I just think there should be lines of communication, because what you may be used to in the bedroom with your previous lovers, I may not be. So,
and you know what, people need to understand and like change expectations as well, because that could be a thing in terms of like what Billy was saying earlier. Oh, maybe she's not getting there. Well, maybe because you're not doing something that maybe she's used to doing with the person that she was with before you, and you don't do it the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like there's lots, and it's not even that she misses him. You know what I mean? Like,
or maybe she's just used to Bob.
She's used to how he specifically does it. So there's so many different things that therapy can bring out, and y'all can work out, but people don't, and people just go out there and find it somewhere else.
Or she been using that damn rose too much.
You know what, Billy? I don't want to hear.
That's what I was talking about.
There will be no rose slander tonight.
Oh,
there will absolutely be no rose slander.
Kayla, you always end up for the.
There will be no rose slander. Because no.
And see, you know what? I'm the complete opposite. And I mean, don't mean to be TMI, but I just never been a woman that's into toys. Like never, like ever, never. So that's why I say, like, sometimes guys can meet a female, and if she was previously with the toy thing, then I mean, you can't compete with a toy.
But you know what? I don't even use them. I don't use them.
Put the rose in your mouth, and then
Okay. Oh, so you practice. You know what? That's commitment. That's cool. But I don't even use the rose, but I just know a lot of people that use it and love it.
Oh shit.
No, I really don't. I really don't. The thing is for me, I don't know. I'm like kind of embarrassed.
Yeah, like blushing.
No, I'm like kind of
embarrassed?
When it comes to that, I just rather be with the person. Like for me, I need all the other things. Like I need like the touch. Like I don't know if I can ever get there with just that. But I do know people, and women in particularly, that are single and maybe not the most attractive and maybe not the most desired, and they need to feel good too. God damn it! So I think that the rose. We should know rose slander. It is, toys are acceptable for adults. Okay.
And if you're not all that attractive, if you're not all that attractive, your sex game need to be legit. I mean, come on. Your sex game needs to be legit if you ain't all that attractive.
I thought it was love the personality.
No, hell no.
No, if she's not cute, other value, because he don't want to look at her as much.
Think about it whenever your body start deteriorating, or I'm gonna say a different word. You gain weight, you get chubby. Motherfucker not really all that turned on because you got all this hanging on you.
Oh well.
You got to be able to do some things that you don't want to do. You got to be able to compensate.
Now y'all do know some guys like a little chubby now.
Yeah, that's why I say sex therapy. Everybody can use it because you can literally go to sex therapy and learn shit about your partner, and that you never thought she was willing to do because y'all didn't have the chemistry to have a conversation. Y'all already had like issues communicating on basic shit, so you probably already get exhausted from trying to have a conversation so sensitive like that. You don't even have it. So going to sex therapy could just open up that door. And like, damn, you don't mean to tell me all these years I could have been doing that?
We got to normalize it. It has to be normalized.
Communication is key.
Yeah, but I think that'll take away a lot of it. Will put a buffer in between stepping out as a first option. Because then now you know your partner. you don't been with a professional counselor that breaks shit down to you. You know what I'm saying? You know her spots, all this
Yeah.
stuff.
Yep.
So now when you step out, it makes you look even worse.
And I'm sure it also teaches you intimacy, because there's a lot of people that are in relationships that are also not getting there to the climax because they don't have that. There's a part of intimacy that makes you feel like comfortable and safe for men and women. And I think that when you don't have that and it's just the sex, it's just like, it doesn't feel, hey Mel, it doesn't feel the same, especially for women. You know what I mean? And they're out there that are accepting sex with no intimacy just to have sex with somebody. And it's really, really sad. And that's why I have to advocate for the rose, because my mom, no, don't do it. You know what I mean? You're going to feel worse after, because you didn't get the full experience that you should be getting, which is someone that like cares about you, that's looking at you, that's like giving you that touch, that intimacy. So there will be no toy slander, because I want women to preserve what they have and wait for the right guy that actually deserves it. So if you need to hang out with the rose, then hang out with the motherfucking rose, because we are not. No.
But don't that kind of like overstimulate? Like, don't that kind of like bleed off into the bedroom with your person? You getting this
I haven't
sensation?
used it. I don't know. I just know people say it's great. Billy vouched for it, so I figured it was.
I'm thinking it probably could start causing a problem, because you're going to become dependent upon reaching a climax with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna like, me personally, man, I don't got no shame. I'm not gonna beat my meat all the time. You know what I'm saying? And then my wife come up on me like, hey, you want to have sex? And I'm like, yeah.
Oh no, that doesn't work.
I'm saying, like, you don't want to masturbate. You want to say masturbation for like, okay, you single, you know what I'm saying? You ain't really getting none. Or, you know what I'm saying, your hubby, he deployed, or your girl, she deployed, or, you know what I'm saying, distance. Just some quite distance. You don't want to be walking around with toys and shit. It's pleasure on demand.
There are things you can use together, though. You know, there are things that like you can use.
So, okay. So I'm going to answer the question that's running across, and then I'm going to answer Kayla's question, or address Kayla's question, or answer, or like perspective.
Just go ahead, Mel.
So are Black people open to sex therapy? They definitely are. It's more people that are willing than you think to actually get somebody else in and get their perspective. Second thing, you talking about toys. Like, I'm not an advocate toy person, because I like the real thing. I can be abstinent in your absence, if that makes sense. When you're not there with me, I can be abstinent. I don't have a problem with that. And I think a lot of women, like a lot of people, it's like, I ain't got nothing to do, so let me, you know, it's different for everybody. It depends on your sex drive. But when you hear, oh, you getting it, we getting down, I'm telling you, you're gonna be tired of me, because I'm touching you all the time. As soon as you wake up,
you get your ass up.
Hey, but that could be a negative part, touching me every time. Like, I don't go for that shit. Like, sometimes I don't even want to be touched. You know what I'm saying?
No,
especially if I'm on fumes. If my shit already like, and I ain't got shit left, don't even bother.
No, Mac, I did learn that though. I was gonna say, no lie, I learned that. Like, he was like, man, I ain't got no more in me. Like, what are you doing?
Like, yeah, he's just like, chill out. But the thing is, do you think in therapy, because the other thing is in terms of frequency, do you think frequency is something that can be solved in therapy? Because like, if you're at 4 times a week and she's at 1, like, what can the therapist tell you?
They can tell you a lot. They can tell you more about like why they want to be so, because a lot of people don't want to be intimate to just have sex. They want to be intimate